Bayern Munich have utterly embarrassed Borussia Dortmund in Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge. We have another Der Klassiker on our hands right here, and yet another Bayern Munich win. And like I just said, this was completely and utterly embarrassing from Borussia Dortmund. Now, you know, obviously they're up against the odds right here. They're up against Bayern Munich, the best team in Germany, not just, you know, historically, but also right at the moment. But this was the most perfect opportunity that they could have ever been handed to finally win the league. Bayern Munich obviously just fired Julian Nagelsmann. Thomas Tuchel's coming in, and as good as Thomas Tuchel is, he still has to adjust to a new team, new tactics, new formations, his own player selections, things like that. And he literally just came in a week and a half ago. On the other hand, Dortmund have been undefeated in the Bundesliga at least since the start of 2021, and they are top of the table. All they had to do was not lose in this match, and yet they were down 3 goals in under 23 minutes. That's how embarrassing this performance was. And the worst part about this is not even the first time this has happened. If you guys remember back in the 2019 or 2018-19 season, Bayern Munich was having an okay season by their standards. Dortmund was top of the table. It was around this same time of the season in April. All Dortmund had to do was not lose, and yet they were down 4-0 at halftime. Now, that one was a little worse because they were at home, but still, the same problems arise here. Bayern Munich are a winning team. They have the winning mentality. Dortmund do not. Dortmund do not have a winning mentality. Every time they go up against a big team, they completely collapse. Now, it doesn't matter who's the manager. It doesn't matter if it's Terzic. It doesn't matter if it's Lucien Favre. It doesn't matter if it's any of these managers that they've had. The last good manager that they had, in my opinion, was ironically Thomas Tuchel. Yet they just completely and utterly collapsed. The winning mentality, they just do not possess. They don't have. They need to find a way to rekindle that winning culture that they did used to have. If you look at the goal specifically, the first goal, a complete abysmal mistake from Kopal in goal. And then the next 2 goals from Muller, terrible defending from Dortmund. And then Kingsley Coman was able to score a 4th in the second half. And if you look at the scoreline, you say 4 goals for Bayern, 2 goals for Dortmund. It looks like it was a relatively close match. That could not be farther from the truth. Those 2 goals that Dortmund got were relatively lucky. This scoreline was very flattering towards Bayern Munich. It could have been 4. It was 4. It could have been 5, 6, 7 goals, and I'm not even exaggerating there. They had so many chances. I do think that Tuchel had a really good performance here. Now, that being said, this win is more so on Dortmund just completely falling apart and collapsing. It'll be interesting to see how Tuchel's Bayern go from here, specifically in the Champions League against Manchester City. But that being said, the Bundesliga is pretty much wrapped up. I think this is going to be yet another win for Bayern. I believe this will be their 11th title in a row, which is insane. And Dortmund ended their season here. This is the end of the season. They're no longer in the Champions League. This is the most meaningful trophy that they could have won right now. The Bundesliga is pretty much out of their hands. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this win was more so due to Tuchel? Was it more so due to Dortmund? How do you think Tuchel's going to do at Bayern in the future? And can Dortmund finally win the Bundesliga? What do they have to do to actually win a meaningful trophy?